Good day, my name is Yossi Witkowski and I am an Australian immigration lawyer. I have recently received numerous inquiries from people asking whether it's still possible to immigrate or to live and work in Australia during this worldwide COVID-19 pandemic. The good news is that Australia is still seeking offshore skilled migrants to permanently settle and to live and work in Australia. The Australian economy is very much dependent on skilled migration. Australia is currently a very sought-after destination for people wanting to live, work, and permanently settle in Australia. States or territory skilled migration programs for the 190 and the 491 subclass visas will be opening shortly. When this happens, we expect there to be a high volume of applications. These high volumes of applications could result in occupations reaching the occupation ceiling threshold very quickly. Those of you who are unable to lodge your expression of interest for the 190 and the 491 subclass visas before the skills list close will be very disappointed, as you'll be unable to immigrate or live and work in Australia. In order to avoid disappointment, we urge you to be document ready in order to lodge your expression of interest the moment the skilled migration programs for the 190 and the 491 visas reopen. So what does it mean to be document ready? Well, part of being document ready means that you'd have lodged a skills assessment with the relevant skills assessing authority for your specific occupation and received a positive outcome for that skills assessment. Lodging a skills assessment is the first step in the process. Without a positive skills assessment outcome, you will not be able to lodge an expression of interest or a visa application. Should you desire to become a permanent resident of Australia or to live and work in Australia, then please listen carefully to the general requirements for 3 visa subclasses. I'll now be speaking about the general requirements and eligibility for visa subclasses 190, 491 and 189 visas. The general eligibility requirements for these visas are: 1. You must have an occupation on the relevant skills occupation list. 2. You must have lodged a skills assessment and received a positive outcome for that specific occupation. 3. You must be under the age of 45 at the time you are invited to apply for your visa. 4. You must have a minimum of 65 points. And 5. You must at least have competent English. For the 190 visa, there is an additional requirement in that you must be nominated by a state or territory to apply for that particular visa. Should you apply for the 190 visa, you would also receive an additional 5 points towards your points calculation. The 190 visa requires you to live and work in the particular state that you are nominated by for 2 years. Thereafter, you can work and live anywhere in Australia. Both the 189 and the 190 visa allows you permanent residency in Australia. For the 491 offshore skilled regional visa, you need to meet all the requirements I previously mentioned. You also need to be nominated by a particular state or territory, or an eligible relative must sponsor you. You then have to live and work in regional Australia. The 491 visa is granted for 5 years, but after 3 years of living and working in regional Australia, you might be eligible for permanent residency. Should you apply for the 491 regional visa, you will receive an additional 15 points towards your points calculation. If eligible, this visa is also a pathway towards permanent residency. Please do not delay in booking a consultation with us so we can see if you are eligible for either the 189, the 190 or the 491 visa subclasses in order to permanently settle in Australia or to live and work in Australia. Once eligible, we strongly recommend that you start the process without further delay by allowing us to obtain a skills assessment on your behalf. So please book a consultation with us in order to avoid disappointment. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope to speak to you soon.